welcome back to another video. I know it's been a couple of weeks, but yeah, I had like a little break, and this is back with Satellarknights. I know I've done like 2 deck builds of these before, but this is like sort of like a final build that I have came first the past few weeks in my locals using this build, and I won against the Shadows and Battling Boxers. That was quite simple though, and a couple of Burning Abyss players. But let me just get right into the deck. So main deck is 40 cards, and I've got 14 monsters. So first one is 1 Satellarknight Deneb. I know I still play 1. I've overly playtesting with this build. 1 actually works perfectly fine. Like, all you need is like, you need it first turn, or you need it in your graveyard if you're Altair plays, but you only need 1, and I'll explain what each of them do. They all have the same effect of if this card is summoned, and you can only use the effect once per turn of that 1 monster. So if this card is summoned, you can add a Satellarknight monster from your deck to your hand, except itself. They all have that as well. You can't target itself or whatever itself. So yeah, it's pretty good. It's basically Stratos of the deck. Next is 3 Satellarknight Altair, and this is like another reason. Like if it's in the graveyard somehow, turn 1, like if you use Unikali, you can summon this, get it back, and then get another search. Because what this does is, when it's summoned, you can target a Satellarknight monster in your graveyard, except itself, special summon that target in face up defense position, and if you do, only Satellarknight monsters can attack that turn, and you can only use the effect once per turn. So it's like Wolfbark on sort of steroids, because you can run 3 of it, and it's whenever it's summoned. So normal, flip, or specialed, that they all do that. So basically this plus Deneb equals any rank 4. That requires 2 units, although you can't attack, but you can still sort of stun your opponent. Next up is 3 Satellarknight Unikali. This guy is the Foolish Burial, so any summons you can send a Satellarknight card from your deck to the graveyard. So that could include the spell or the trap card, which I don't know why you would waste resources on them. You would just, turn 1, ideal turn 1 is if you don't open up Deneb, you can normal summon this, send the Deneb, soul charge the Deneb back, add an Altair, so you're set up for like next turn if Deneb gets sent to the graveyard. Or then you can exceed into something. Don't know, like if you've got an Abyss Thrill or whatever, you can exceed into that and then still sort of stun your opponent. Then the last couple of monsters are, Satellarknight monsters are 2 Satellarknight Vega. When this card is summoned, you can special summon a Satellarknight monster from your hand, except itself, and you can only use the effect once per turn. So basically, the sort of combo is Deneb Engrave, you summon this, and then you special this from your hand, get this to the field, and then get a search off, exceeds, and yeah, that's pretty much the combo. Then the last monster for Satellarknights is 1 Satellarknight Alsum. No one really plays this card, but I still think it's a good card. It burns your opponent for 1000 damage every time it's summoned. That's still a lot. So if your opponent only has like 1600 life points left, or even 18, you can normal summon out your Altair. With this Engrave, you can special summon that, inflict 1000, then exceed into Cowboy, and you can still game them, even if they've got like 1800 or whatever left. So it's like an added 1000 onto that Cowboy, which is pretty useful. So that's all the Satellarknight monsters. Other monsters are 1 Card E to add a bit of consistency, 1 Honest, and then like my personal tech choice, 2 Kage Tokage, can't say that. So even if you do have like an Altair in hand, now Deneb in the grave, and you want to go for that Deltros push, you can normal summon out the Altair, special summon this, still get your Deneb out, still get a search off, and then you can exceed into the Deltros. So that's quite good. So there's 14 monsters, and then for spells we've got 1 Dark Hole, because it's Dark Hole, 3 Mystical Space Typhoon, still good, One book I'm in because resetting your own stuff, like resetting your own Altair or own Deneb, and then flip summoning it next turn, get its effect off again, is not too bad. Then we've got 2 Pot of Duality, because you don't always have to special summon. 2 Rota, because you can search out everything in this deck, except from the Kage. So yeah. Then we've got 2 Soul Charge, because it's still broken and it's not been hit yet, and 2 Forbidden Lands. Forbidden Lands is still a good card, regardless of whatever. It can still stop your opponent's windows if they try and attack over your Altair or whatever. You can still lance their window, because window can shut this deck down quite fast. That's what I done. Like I attacked him with the Unikali. They never had any back row, they just had a window, and I was just like, yeah, lance, you're dead. So there's 13 spells, and then for traps we've got 3 Call of the Haunted, because Satellarknight monsters still get their effect when they're summoned. 2 Break Your Skill. 2 Satellarknight Alpha. I need to get a 3rd because this card is Solemn Judgment, and it's got an extra added plus, and there's no downside to it. All you have to do is send a face-up Satellarknight monster you control to the graveyard, negate the activation of a spell, trap, or monster effect, and you get to destroy it, and if you destroy it you get to draw 1 card. So yeah, it's pretty OP. And it's at 3. Next, 1D Prison, 1 Fiendish, because it can stop Winda from attacking, or Construct from attacking. 1 Phoenix Wing, Bottomless, Solemn, and 1 Compulse. To round up the main deck. So there's 40 cards altogether in the main deck. Then for extra, play 1 Deltros. If you don't know what this card does, it requires 3 level 4 monsters to exceed summon into it, so it's generic. And, or the effect. While this card has exceeds material, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when you normal or special summon a monster. So even when you special summon this, they can't activate any effects to it, so Bottomless, useless. They can still like warning it because it wouldn't negate the summon, but they can't like Trenchal Bottomless on to the summon of this or any of your other monsters, which is pretty amazing to be honest. And then once per turn you can detach an exceeds material and target and destroy 1 card on the field. Then if this card is sent to the graveyard, you can special summon 1 Satellarknight monster from your hand or deck, so that would trigger the effect. So basically what you want to do is get this to the grave somehow, like destroy it, and then you can summon back your Altair. Altair can bring this back from the grave in defense position, so your opponent would have to attack through this again. Then you'd be able to get another effect off, like Deneb or Alsum, burn them for a K, so that's not bad. We've got 1 Heroic Champion Excalibur, because 4000 is a brilliant attack. Blade Armor can attack twice, and there's a card that will combo very well with this later on. And also with Excalibur, this is like one of your outs to Leo, because there's no really other out to this in this deck. 1 Stellar Omega, 1 Symphony de Jin, 1 King of the Feral Imps to search out your Kage, 1 101, 1 Ligusto, 1 Cowboy, 1 Dyer, 1 Black Ship, 1 Photon Papilloperative, 1 number 80. Then the card that goes well with Blade Armor Ninja, 1 number 58 Burner Visor, because what this card can do is it can equip itself onto an Xyz monster you control. That monster can attack directly, and then if that monster inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can discard 1 card, and your opponent takes 500 points of damage. So this equipped onto Blade Armor Ninja, and if you already have this, or it's in the graveyard, you can soul charge for it, get it in there. 3700 attack missile, and this goes up to 3500 attack. Basically, next turn, attack, discard a card, that's 4000. Attack, discard another card, that's another 4000. So basically, it's game. And then final monster is 1 Giant Barrel, because it still can get over like Ophion and it's unaffected by Fiendish Chain. I'll just quickly like show my side deck. This is a side deck that I used when I was playing in my locals and helped me go against Shadows quite simply. 3D Decro, because banishing their Shadow Fusions when they target them is pretty fucking amazing. Or their Falcos, when they flip out their Falco, and they go target Beast or target Schemata, you're like, D-Decro, yeah, I'll just banish it. You can get no target back, and then they're left like 600 attack points, an attack monster, and that's it, they're done. One Concentrated Light, no Consecrated Light, same thing. This card is actually quite good, and it's good against Shadows, but I found a little flaw. But what this does is, neither player can normal or special summon dark monsters, or declare an attack with dark monsters. And this card cannot be started a battle with a dark monster. Also, you didn't know battle damage from that battle. So, basically everything in the Shadow deck is dark, unless you play the artifact build. And even then, there's still going to be like one turn you can probably get this in defense. So you're not going to be taking anything. And this can shut down Shadows quite simply. Like, although if they do go for like Winda Construct, yeah, that can sort of kill you because it's like 2800, and yeah, but it's still quite good. I still like it as a card. It's still there if I need it. One Mind Control, because Mind Control and take their Schemata or Dragon, like if you know they've reset a level 4, so Schemata or Dragon, using Falco, take it, flip it face up, use whatever effect is. So if it's Dragon, you like destroy a card. If it's Schemata, you return a card to the hand, get that effect, then XC summon into practically anything in your extra deck. So yeah, it's pretty good. 2, no mana crossout, because banishing Falcos and banishing Dragons and banishing Beasts isn't that bad, or even banishing Hedgehogs actually, because they would get the flip effect of add the Shadow Fusion to hand. Can't even having that, so like basically banishing anything. And there is still a couple of YuGiOh players out there, so banishing their armors is actually quite good. And because this side deck is built purely against like Shadows, for me anyway, I have 2 Magic Drain, because Magic Drain is actually quite a good card. And in case you know what it does, you can only activate this card when your opponent activates a spell card. Your opponent can discard 1 spell card from their hand to negate the effect of this card. And if your opponent does not, negate the activation of your opponent's spell card and destroy it. So if they activate Shadow Fusion, and they have like nothing else in their hand, and you've got like an extra deck monster, and they're hoping to fuse from their deck, flip this up, and they're like, yeah, I've not got anything. Then it's buy Shadow Fusion. 1 Chain Dispel, and basically activating that on their Sinister Shadow games or the Shadow Fusion is not actually that too bad, to be honest. And also, like, if you are still playing against like a Fire Fist or a Blue Gym player, activating this on their 10k, it would destroy the 10k. It would like destroy the other 10ks in the deck, so like they would have 1 10k on the field and that's about it. So they basically lose their search and lose their attack boost, which is actually quite good still. Then 1 Chain Destruction, because flipping up, if they flip up a Falco, destroy it. Yeah, it still works, although that 1 Falco would get its effect. Like the one of the Falcos for the deck would get effect, but that's still nothing. It would just reset itself, which means they would have to choose between, if they flip up a Falco, they couldn't use that effect to reset something from the grave, or they could reset a Falco from the graveyard that's just been sent by this effect. I think I would rather run Chain Disappearance, but I can't find any. And if one goes in match and 1 Rivalry of the Warlords, because they're still good cards in this format. The Rivalry of the Warlords can kind of shut down Shadows, although they are all like spellcasters. And if they went through their windows, they can't go into their constructs because constructs are fairy. And if they control spellcaster, if they control like a Falco or whatever, it sort of shuts them down. Then I play the Skill Drain and Mind Drain. Still get a Soul Drain, but I can't get hold of one right now. So yeah, That's my side deck. So YouTube, there you have it. Like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hopefully there'll be something different next week. Probably should be. Anyway, bye.